Okay, so this is another video where I'll talking about Brexit. Basically, the last video I made, at least the one I made in English, was quite negative because it was a personal account of how I felt, and my mood and my state of mind. And obviously, when you have made your life in a country, when you've married someone in a country, when you've lived legally in a country, and suddenly the government decide to change your status and on criteria you don't even know, and is running hostile propaganda against you and threatens to turn you into an illegal immigrant and potentially separate you from your family, that is, your immediate family, husband and children, if you don't fit certain criteria, which you don't even know which criteria they're going to apply. And they decide to suddenly turn you into an alien. I mean, normally when they ask for a visa, they ask for a visa straight away, or you apply for a green card, or if you get a permit when you marry an American or an Australian, I don't know, or you accept a job offer, but you know what the contract is and you know what's required of you in advance, and usually you make sure that you fit the conditions on the contract. But asking people for to fit certain criteria 40 years later, when they've never had to apply for anything. When they've never had to apply for anything before, it's completely wrong. And so I feel very angry, and I feel very angry that they treat me as a different kind of person or as an inferior. And my main feeling is anger, really, that they're doing this to us. There's a lot of sadness as well, and panic sometimes when I feel that that I might have to leave, that I might have no other choice, or I might have to take legal action in order not to be deported, even though I came here legally with no time limit. But the government decided to change all that. So, I sounded very negative because I was very, very sad and very upset, and it's still quite frightening, I think, in a country that you consider to be low risk, like the UK, that something like that could happen. And what happened, in my view, is very much like a coup, and I don't really know if there is an opposition anymore, but it's quite obvious that it's been planned for quite a while, and by billionaire tax exiles and the politicians they're paying. I think some of the Tory party, some of them are ideologically they're racists, and others are just corrupt. but really, what's the difference for the rest of us, you know? And but there's been no real organised movement to fight this, and because it is not going to be very good even for British people, you know, because obviously they're going to slash workers' protections, and they're probably going to privatise the NHS, and you really have to wonder why Corbyn is supporting this, or allegedly supporting this, because it looks very much like this is not going to be a Norway style, Iceland type of, you know, country. It's going to be a very well, low tax for the rich, and very with not a lot of regulation for businesses, and everything is going to be run by business, I think, and corporations. And we're going to be the victims of this, but other people will be as well. So I could give more explanations about this, but this was a little bit to complement, you know, to be to act as a sort of. I wanted to add up something to the first video I made about Brexit, which was quite personal, and where I sounded quite depressed because it was quite a blow to me. Not the fact that they want to leave the European Union, which they're entitled to do, but the way they've been treating us. So I don't know if I have a future in this country at the moment. I don't know. I don't know what kind of job I can apply for. Because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep my job. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep my relationship. And my life is open to change, which could be, you know, the feeling of opportunity when people feel stuck in a rut. But at the same time, you don't want too much uncertainty in your life, especially when it's not something that you can control. And you don't want to live in poverty, you don't want to be lonely. But I think there's been a problem with the groups that should be supporting us.